Breaking news tonight, and this is big. The IRS just issued a new internal update, and it directly connects to what Donald Trump has been demanding for weeks, a new round of stimulus checks specifically designed to help seniors, disabled Americans, veterans, and low-income families. And here's the shocking part. For the first time since 2021, the IRS is preparing systems for what looks like mass direct deposits, and Trump is pushing for these checks to go out immediately, not months from now. Why this is happening behind closed doors, negotiations have intensified between Trump's team, key lawmakers, and Treasury officials. At the center of these negotiations is the idea that Americans, especially SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries, have been crushed by inflation, rising food costs, rising rent, and medical bills. Trump has consistently emphasized that if the U.S. government can allocate billions of dollars for foreign aid, then it is absolutely possible to send $2,000 or even more directly to American citizens immediately. This bold statement has added significant pressure on the IRS, prompting agency officials to reevaluate and accelerate their internal procedures. They are currently reviewing critical systems involved in distributing payments, including the verification processes for eligible recipients, the technical mechanisms that manage direct deposits, and the overall payout workflow. These are the same systems that were successfully used during prior stimulus rounds, but now they are being scrutinized and optimized to ensure faster, more efficient delivery, minimize errors, and guarantee that Americans receive their funds without unnecessary delays. The heightened political push combined with IRS operational adjustments suggests that action could happen sooner than previously expected, signaling hope for millions awaiting financial relief. If this new stimulus-style program moves forward, and right now the signals coming from both the IRS and federal officials suggest growing momentum, certain groups are expected to be placed at the very front of the line. These include Americans who rely most heavily on federal assistance, SSI recipients, SSDI beneficiaries, VA disability and survivor families, low-income seniors collecting Social Security retirement, and households that fall below the federal income threshold. Even people who do not file taxes, but who are already active in SSA, SSI, SSDI, or VA databases are expected to be automatically included. This framework mirrors previous nationwide relief rollouts, except this time the target is even more focused on vulnerable households. One major advantage is that the IRS already holds complete banking information for millions of these beneficiaries. That means if the green light is given, the distribution process could move at lightning speed. Direct deposits would likely go out first, often within days of approval, followed by paper checks for those without updated banking details. The government has already proven it can push out billions in payments quickly, and the current structure suggests they are preparing to do exactly that again. In simple terms, if you're in one of these groups, you're positioned at the front of the line, and your payment could arrive far sooner than the general public expects. People are calling this the fourth stimulus for a very real reason, even though Congress hasn't officially given it that name. Economists, analysts, and even former IRS officials say the structure checks all the same boxes as the previous stimulus rounds. The proposal relies on the IRS for distribution, it targets the same groups of Americans who received past stimulus checks, and it's designed as direct financial relief during a time of rising costs, economic pressure, and household instability. In other words, the mechanics, the target audience, and the method of delivery are almost identical to Stimulus 1, 2, and 3, just under a new label. What makes this proposal even more explosive is Trump's push for a dividend-style payout model, something completely different from the one-time emergency checks of the past. A dividend-style payment suggests recurring distributions tied to tariffs or economic performance, meaning Americans could see money more than once if this becomes law. While nothing is approved yet, the fact that this is officially being considered, debated, and shaped at the highest levels of government is why millions are calling it the unofficial fourth stimulus check. The structure is the same, the impact would be the same. The only thing missing is Congress's final vote. This is the part everyone has been waiting for. When are the checks coming? And here's the truth. According to multiple internal sources, the IRS has already moved into what they call technical readiness mode, a phase they only activate when a nationwide payout is being prepared. This isn't speculation. This phase includes a full systems update on the federal direct deposit network, notifications sent to private contractors who print paper checks and issue debit cards, and the early syncing of beneficiary data across agencies. These actions mean the machinery of payment distribution is already waking up. Agencies do not waste time or resources entering this phase unless something big is in motion behind the scenes. And it gets even more revealing. The Treasury Department has begun pre-routing schedules, which is the internal calendar used to determine the earliest possible deposit windows. Meanwhile, SSA and VA have already synced beneficiary files with IRS systems, a move that only happens when a timeline is being prepared. These are the same early indicators we saw before the first, second, and third stimulus rounds, and history shows that once these steps begin, actual deposits typically follow within weeks, sometimes even days. In short, all the silent green lights are turning on. The government hasn't announced dates publicly yet, but the infrastructure behind the scenes suggests that checks are closer than most people realize. There are now two possible timelines for when these stimulus checks could actually reach Americans, and both depend heavily on what happens in Washington over the next few days. On the fast track, payments could begin rolling out within just a few weeks. If Trump successfully secures bipartisan support, giving the IRS the green light to start releasing funds immediately. Under this scenario, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries would be first in line because their information is already in federal systems, making them the easiest group to process. But on the slow track, Congress could drag out negotiations, causing delays that push payments into early next year, though it's important to note that a delay does not mean cancellation. And here's the most important part. Behind the scenes, the IRS is already quietly preparing systems, updating code, and reorganizing processing units, which is a strong signal that they are expecting to move money. Whether fast or slow, preparations are happening, and the checks are getting closer. What you should do right now. To protect yourself from delays or missed funds, the IRS, SSA, and VA are urging every beneficiary to review their information immediately. Start by confirming that your direct deposit details are accurate and active because that's the fastest way that IRS will send any future stimulus or dividend funds. Log into your MySSA or VA Gov account regularly to check for new alerts, payment status updates, or eligibility notices. The IRS also recommends keeping an eye out for official letters or updates posted on IRS Gov, especially if you're a senior, disabled American, or veteran who relies on federal benefits. Make sure your mailing address, email, and phone number are up to date because even one outdated detail can delay a deposit. And most importantly, stay alert. Scammers are already sending fake texts and emails promising early access or instant approval. Remember, if this program launches, the IRS will never contact you through random texts, WhatsApp messages, or suspicious emails. Only official IRS, SSA, or VA communications count. Staying updated and cautious is your best chance to receive your money quickly and safely. If this update helped you, don't leave without taking immediate action. Hit that like button to show support and help others see this crucial information. Subscribe and turn on all notifications. Every second counts, and I'll post instantly when the IRS confirms payout dates or Trump announces the next $2,000 plus stimulus step. Be ready for every update. Qualification rules, timelines, deposit order, and how to check your payment will be revealed in real time, so you don't miss a single dollar. Comment below. Are you ready to receive your stimulus? Do you support these new payments for seniors, SSI, SSDI, and VA beneficiaries? I personally read and replied to every comment, and I want to hear your experience, concerns, and opinions. Let's make sure everyone stays informed and prepared. Disclaimer: this video is for informational purposes only and is not legal, financial, or professional advice. Eligibility, payment amounts, and timing for stimulus checks or IRS disbursements are determined by the U.S. government. Always consult official IRS sources or government announcements for the most accurate and up-to-date information.